energy storage and grid connectivity. We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by Dr. Hussein Khaled, the former Minister of Higher Education. Dr. Hussein, a very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Doctor, and thank you very much for your time. Let me start by asking you a very impressive feat by the Egyptian students from the University of Ain Shams, who won third place in a very, very important challenge project about techno-economic assessment of green hydrogen production. What can you tell us a bit more about this, Doctor?
First of all, I congratulate them for this high esteemed prize they got.
Yes,
because this is an honor for all the Egyptian students and professionals.
Absolutely.
Of course, this is one of the future sciences and jobs. And it is very nice that we could, challenge this and go forward in this kind of subject or sub-speciality. I think that this is the production of the development that happened in the field of higher education and research in Egypt during the last 10 years. And you are now seeing the fruits and the products of these developments in those in higher education and in research in Egypt.
Absolutely. Now, Dr. Hussein, this isn't a first. Lots of Egyptian students before have taken part in such competitions and usually come out tops with many prizes. But this is a very relatively, new field with regards to issues related to green hydrogen production. And now the team of students, they submitted a comprehensive assessment of green hydrogen production, and the script is developed for automated optimization analysis of hydrogen production costs and reduction on the grid energy dependency. How relevant do you see the topic and the research presented by the students, Doctor?
Well, this is very relevant and very important for Egypt. You know that we are now part of the international efforts in this area, in the green environment. And we had a meeting, an international meeting 2 years ago in Egypt. And this also is of prime importance and prime priority for our political leaders, the president and the cabinet. And of course, we have to develop this more and more. And I am looking forward for these students after their graduation to share and start in the activities related to this matter. And I think that the Egyptian National Academy of Science and Technology have some activities and projects in this, and I invite them to go to the website of the Egyptian Academy of Science and try to indulge themselves in these activities.
Absolutely, Dr. Hussein, and I'm sure they will also be sought out. As you said, green energy sector has now gained an unprecedented support by the state in order, of course, to optimize its natural resources of wind and solar energy, etc. And Egypt has resorted to the use of such renewable energy to meet its obligation and its energy needs. Now, the government has been working to expand renewable energy sources and ensure energy security. What is the role being played by the government in this transition to renewable energy, and how do you see policy being put forward in this regard, Doctor?
Well, this belongs to the Egyptian Vision 2030.
Yes.
And also it is part of activities now in the different universities and the Academy of Science. And also, I think that there are financial support for these activities now in Egypt. And what I think it is good to do is to give these specialists a full-time job in order to concentrate on their work, or not to diffuse themselves activities in the workforce. Structure, the personnel and the finance as well.
Absolutely. Now, Doctor, could you tell us a bit about some of the main, challenges facing the widespread adoption of renewable energy that still face us in Egypt?
The culture. We have to change the culture of the people about this aspect, and must help in number two, we have to, as I told you, finance and give a priority for financing, because this is the. We have to have a full-time job for those scientists that are going to work and to apply this to the community. In relation to the other, end users, like in industry and agriculture and basic sciences and other aspects of life.
Yes, absolutely, Doctor. And this actually leads me to my next question. How do you see, the role of the private sector? How can the private sector be involved with plans to boost, renewable energy, maximize its value, and diversify sources of energy, like you said?
Well, we have to overcome the gap of trust between the academia and the end users, and especially the businessmen and the private sector.
Yes.
And they must know that if they help to develop this kind of specialties, they are going on the long term to benefit from this, instead of going to give the money to foreign experts that are going to cost them much more than if we develop and help the Egyptian academia that are specialized in this aspect.
So there is also a role by the state as well to attract private investments in the renewable energy sector. How important do you see this, especially now that Egypt is integrating sustainable energy strategy, aiming to increase its supply and eventually even export of such sources of energy, renewable energy?
Well, to apply the PPT, which is, a private partnership with the government. Yes.
Absolutely. Right. Now, under the integrated sustainable energy strategy, Egypt, do you think Egypt can consider natural gas as the most important source of energy, especially that it already has pipelines to export natural gas and is seeking more pipelines to increase exports, especially with the Eastern Mediterranean region? How do you see exploration in this regard, enhancing the country to become an energy hub over a short period of time?
This is very important.
Yes.
And I think that this also will be a major source of financing all the other Egyptian activities and the budget of the government. And I think that also this is linked by a way or another to the green policy.
Absolutely, Doctor. And also, since the Russian-Ukrainian crisis, we've seen Europe looking for alternative supplies to Russian oil and gas. Do you see Egypt as a possible filler in for their shortages?
Why not? I mean, we have a huge resources, and it needs just to develop them and to let them produce more and more energy that are going to help the Egyptian people, and also to be transported to other countries, especially in the region, Africa, especially in the Middle East, and so on.
Absolutely right. I'd like to thank you very, very much, Dr. Hussein Khaled, the former Minister of Higher Education. Thank you very much, sir, for your time and for your insight and for joining us on today's edition of Cairo Local Time. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break and we'll be back for more. Do stay tuned.